Between 911 and 609 BCE, the world witnessed the birth of the first military superpower, the Neo-Assyrian Empire. Before this, wars were seasonal, farmers fighting between harvests. But the Assyrians changed everything. They created the first standing professional army. They were the first to use iron weaponry on a massive scale. They were the first to perfect the use of cavalry. To the ancient world, the Assyrians were an unstoppable machine of iron and discipline. The Assyrians didn't just want to defeat you, they wanted to make sure you never thought of fighting back. They pioneered psychological warfare. If a city resisted, the consequences were horrific and meticulously recorded on palace walls to intimidate visiting diplomats. But their most effective tool was mass deportation. When they conquered a land, they uprooted the population and moved them across the empire. Why? It broke national identities. A displaced person in a strange land couldn't start a rebellion. They could only serve the state. This created a melting pot of cultures that held the empire together through sheer forced integration. It wasn't all blood and iron. To manage an empire stretching from Egypt to the Persian Gulf, the Assyrians invented modern imperialism. They built a sophisticated road and postal system, allowing a king in Nineveh to send a message to Israel and receive a reply in days. King Ashurbanipal famously focused on knowledge as much as conquest. He built a great library, collecting tens of thousands of cuneiform tablets, including the Epic of Gilgamesh. For a time, Nineveh was the greatest city on earth, a hub of science, art, and terrifying power, but an empire built on fear has a shelf life. By 612 BCE, the Assyrians had overextended. A coalition of Medes and Babylonians rose up, fueled by centuries of resentment. In a shockingly short time, the lions of Assyria were hunted down. Nineveh was sacked so thoroughly that when Alexander the Great passed the ruins 2 centuries later, he didn't realize a city had been there. The legacy? They left behind the blueprint for every empire that followed, from the Persians to the Romans. They proved that while you can build an empire with iron, it's much harder to keep it with fire.